Hello everyone, welcome to Saturday webinar. So for those who are new here, Saturday webinar is a very short and sweet. We cover what happened for the week. We will cover my portfolio and we will cover what are we gonna trade for the next week. Okay, so it's very short. It's just I talk, you listen now, okay, which is very different from the Friday webinar because Friday webinar, if you guys want to talk, it's fine by me also. Okay. So usually people will just look at the Saturday webinar, the recording, in order to have a good idea of what's going on for the next week, what kind of trades that we are taking. So I try not to drag it very long because it's something that you want to like spend very little time and then you know what's going on already. Okay. So without any delay, right? Let's begin. So today I have given my course lesson 6 already. We have 2 more lessons to go before we end, and I'm sure those people who came for the course are having a blast lah. Okay, when I say having a blast, I'm saying it sarcastically because it's getting more and more tougher lah. Okay, the lesson are getting more and more tougher, and it is the point that where people tend to get overloaded already. So despite having 8 lessons over 2 months, right? There is simply too many things to teach already. So if somehow you go for any other course that is claiming to teach you everything within like one weekend, right? Most likely you're not really learning anything much now. Okay. So anyway, let's begin. We have the market S&P going all-time high, about to be 6,000 already. Nasdaq still somewhere around there, a little bit flat lah. Okay, mainly because the tech sector is not really doing that great. So if you look at yesterday, right, Tesla down by about 8%. Everything else is almost flat lah. Apple down, Amazon up a bit, Meta up a bit, but the rest of the stuff are flat. That's why you see Nasdaq not really moving a lot. So the reason why S&P is moving a lot is because the banks' earnings are out, and you can see the banks are doing very well despite the rate cut, right? They are doing extremely well. So with S&P 500 have quite a bit of weightage in the financial sector lah. Okay, so that's why when the banks are doing well, the S&P 500 goes up, but Nasdaq kind of like flatten out a bit. So you can see Wells Fargo did very, very well, and so did JP Morgan. And I believe these were the 2 earnings that came out. So far so good lah. Okay. And once again, right, overall, in terms of market performance wise, I see no reason to be bearish really. I mean, there's nothing bearish with the ongoing market lah. Okay. The only reason why you will want to be a bear is because for some reason you want to go against everybody. You like a lot of retailers think they are smart because they are, oh, I'm the smart one, I'm against everyone. But sometimes, right, being with the herd is also a good thing lah. Okay, so you don't have to be like go be a contrarian for the sake of being contrarian now. Gold also kind of like rebounded quite a bit, so things are doing quite okay lah. Okay, so now let's go through the portfolio first. So we have TP 2 position. One is ZS. We TP ZS yesterday. Not so much profit, mainly because it is a cash secured put option. And my entry price wasn't really that great. Also 3.75. I think most of you got like $4 like that. So my entry not that great. I only got $6,000 of it. And then of course we TP Arista Lab lah. Okay. The long side I got about $19,000 in profit. The short side lost about $10,000. So the net is about $9,000, which isn't really a lot. I actually expect Arista Lab to be a lot bigger in profit, but I think it's also because of the nature of this structure lah. Okay, I did not expect it to be shooting up like crazy within such a short period. So sometimes the structure of the option can lead to lesser profit also, but nonetheless, we still get quite a significant amount of profit anyway. Okay, so with these two trade being taken profit, right? You can see now my ROI has shot up all the way to 84%. So I think 100% is not far off. I think I can even exceed 100% for this year, okay? Which I think is a very, very big performance, very big return for this particular year. And that is not really a surprise also, because considering that S&P 500 is at all-time high, Nasdaq also very close to all-time high, right? You will expect this level of performance now, okay? Because we are actually getting so much money from all the long position. In fact, if you look at the data a bit, right? If you look at the data a bit, you can see how much of the winning trade we have. 42 winning, 42 bullish trade that end up winning, and then we have 26 bullish trade that end up in the loss. And you can see for the bearish trade, right, is pretty much break even now, okay? Equal number of win and equal number of loss. So you can see by the duration of the trade time frame also, majority of the trade end up within 10 days to 30 days, 30 days to 60 days. So you can see the 10 days to 60 days period is where most of the trade happens and most of the profitable trades are coming from, okay? So less than 10 trade, I got quite a number of loss there, mainly because of all the speculative earning play, but the loss are quite limited because we don't really play a big amount, a big lot sizing. And in fact, trade that were exceeding 60 days, right, they are quite profitable also. So I think, I mean, we are doing very fine now, okay? I just want to show you this to sort of let you know that majority of our holding time frame fall between 10 days to 60 days, which is basically our framework. If you came for the course, you will know this because we will hold our trade mostly up to 60 days, okay? So far so good, so far so good. So I have closed a total of 109 trades, all from US, 67 trade in the bullish trade, 45 in the bearish trade, because a majority for this year, right, I remain a net positive portfolio, okay, net bullish portfolio. So with the two trade being taken profit, the A-Lab and ZS, right, you can see my floating P&L went down to 17K, mainly because I took two big profit off my open position now, okay? If those positions were still there, then my P&L will be still quite okay. So now I still have Matador. So Matador is an oil and gas company. It is something that we have to kind of like, how should I put it? Diversify a bit. Okay. It's good to have a bit of it's good to have a bit of and position in the energy industry also, but there are some catalysts behind this also, because if China is recovering, if the rate cuts are coming in and overall economy improve, right, then the demand for crude oil will go back up again, and you will see all these refinery, all these integrated oil company doing very well. Okay. And in fact, I mean, if you see from the chart perspective, the technical perspective also, it seems like things are bottoming here and it can go up even higher. Okay. So Matador it is still there, is still a valid trade. For those who did not get to enter, you can still enter, is still good to enter. You can put your stop. I mean, you can find the trade. Okay, you can find the trade right here. So it's still valid on the trade setup. If you are on Discord channel, you go to trade setup, you can go and find Matador, which is the latest trade. Okay, it's still quite valid. Okay, so you can go and look at it. Next, I have BYND. BYND is Beyond Meat. So Beyond Meat is a short trade, which I believe sometime soon it has the potential to go bankrupt. So it is on the downside. But you can see recently it's kind of like recovering a bit, but not really. Also, it kind of like stuck there. So I'm waiting for this big drop here. Okay. So still holding, the expiration is until January. And then we have the SPY bullish trade. So now, SPY bearish trade, okay? So SPY, no doubt right now is very, very bullish. But the reason why we have this bearish trade is mainly because we want to have a proper hedging on our portfolio. And this trade was taken before the FOMC, I believe. So we entered it as a hedging against any kind of downside lah. Okay, so it is good to have some level of hedging position in our portfolio. And then we have the SCS Shania from Singapore market, which is right here. Uh, some of you panic a bit when this happened, but immediately it rebounded and it kind of like flattening a bit there lah. Okay, but I think it can go a lot higher, so we just wait for it lah. So this is one of the very few Singapore trade that we have, and then we have Intel and PayPal, which are the two positions that right now currently giving me some profit in my open portfolio lah. Okay, so Intel rebounded a bit after it dropped, so hopefully it can go up higher, close the gap. Same thing for PayPal also. On Thursday it dropped a bit, but on Friday it recovered back lah. Okay, and likewise, PayPal has a very very good space upward for the recovery also lah. Okay, so we are gonna keep this trade, and then next we have Crystal Biotech. Crystal Biotech fell quite a bit, but on Friday recovered 3.21%. So the thing about Crystal Biotech is that we are waiting for the earnings now, okay? Or we are waiting for them to come out and say our drug has been approved in the Eurozone, the Japan zone, and then this will fly like crazy. So until that happen, right, I don't really care where the stock price goes, okay? I don't really care if it goes down or sideways or whatever. I'm just waiting for that news to come out, and they say it will be coming out sometime towards the end of 2024 lah, okay? And that's the reason why the expiration is in December. Okay, so we want to give it some time lah. So I'm not really worried or care or what, but I mean, if needed, right? If needed, we will exit this position, take the loss, and then enter a new position again lah. Okay, so if needed lah, but if not, I'm just gonna leave it there also. And then we have Home Depot. Home Depot is a gone case lah. Okay, Home Depot, we entered this as a hedging towards the downside quite a while back, very very long time ago, and it didn't work out. So if it didn't work out, then it didn't work out lah. It's a hedging trade anyway, and you can see that even though the short is losing money, right? Overall, I am still making a very very good amount of profit from all my long position, and all the profit from the long position, right? They exceed the loss from the short position by a lot. But the short are still very important because we never know. What if the market crash during FOMC? What if suddenly CPI number turns out to be very bad? What if what if inflation number turns out to be very bad? Or what if during the non-farm payroll, unemployment suddenly spiked to 4.5%? Then market can crash. So in those kind of situation, right, we want to capture the profit on the downside also. So that's why we have a long short portfolio lah. Okay, if you don't understand what is a long short portfolio, come to my course next year lah. Okay, this year short close already. But anyway, Home Depot, I've already taken the loss, which is at 4,005. And then Bumble is the same is the same trade as Beyond Meat lah. Okay, so Bumble is also one of those companies that I believe will go bankrupt towards the end of the year, or they simply do not have the cash to continue their business lah. They are very low on cash, and they are actually owe a lot of debt also. So sooner or later it's gonna drop even more lah. Okay, so I'm waiting for the next earning for this stock to drop like crazy lah. So we actually got the first drop here, very very big profit on this first drop. So now we are waiting for the second drop that's gonna come lah. Okay, so waiting for the earnings, and that's the reason why Bumble expiration is in January also, same as Beyond Meat, because we want to give it some time for the market to actually push this price down. And then we have KBH. KBH is same as Home Depot. It is a gone case, so just eat the loss. And then we have Micron. So this Micron trade is from way back. I wanted to have a bullish position on semiconductor, but unfortunately this trade didn't went well lah. So I'm eating a total of $11,000 loss here. So the reason why I'm letting this trade sit there is because if you let the trade expire, you don't need to pay commission fee. It will expire on its own. But if you exit your position before the expiration, right, you will incur commission costs. So maybe you think commission $1, $2 doesn't matter, but I'm actually playing almost a 500,000 account. So my commission one position can be like 200, 300, $400, those kind of one. So commission really affects a lot. And in fact, so far for this year, right, I have paid a total of $5,000 in commission already. Okay, just commission alone, I have paid over $5,000 to Interactive Broker, and that's crazy. But of course, $5,000 as a percentage of what I am making is not a lot. I mean, this is what we will call the operational cost, lah, okay? The cost of goods sold is not a lot, but still, if we can lessen the cost, right, I will try to lessen the cost, lah, okay? So that's why the trades are still sitting there. And lastly, we have Allogene. So Allogene, we're waiting for the short squeeze, waiting for very long already. So if the short squeeze happen, I want it to go to like $10 like that, okay? So this one we are also waiting for the news lah, waiting for some kind of short squeeze to happen now. Okay, so that will cover the overall portfolio I have right now. So you can see for this week, right, we didn't really enter anything. And the reason why I didn't enter anything is mainly because my portfolio is quite full. So I don't want to add a lot more stuff onto it lah. But if you manage to enter your own trade based on last week webinar, right? Good for you also. Any trades that I've shared, you enter, they are perfectly valid lah. Okay. It's just that I myself personally, I'm not entering because my portfolio is full. So now that I have exited two positions, which is the A lab and the ZS, right? Next week I can enter something ready lah. I have trained my portfolio a bit ready. I can enter something next week ready lah. Okay, so expect some trade to come out next week. So what am I looking at next week? I'm still looking to maintain a overall bullish portfolio. But today, when I was giving course, today lesson is actually picking a trade. So every year when I give a course, right, we will try to pick out one trade that we can take live. That in fact, quite lucky. Today we managed to found a very, very good trade that I believe have strong potential. Okay. And that is Aspen Aerogel. So Aspen Aerogel is a company that is making, I don't know what lah, making heat insulation, something like heat insulation. But anyway, right, their main market is the EV sector and oil and gas sector, where they provide heat insulation for the battery packs and the battery packs for the EV and the construction of all your oil refineries and all the oil and gas related stuff lah. Okay, so now this company they were making a loss. They are currently making a loss right now. In 2023, they are making a loss, but you can see that in terms of gross profit, right? The total revenue in 2023 went up by 32%, which is quite a good growth also. They are growing quite well from 2021 onwards. But the gross profit, right, in 2023 went up by 1,000%, you know. So for some reason, right, they are the profitability, their margin improved drastically lah, okay. So on the gross margin side, right, you can see on a yearly level, on an annual level, if you look at gross margin, suddenly the margin jumped to 23.84 during 2023. And the current margin right now is at 43, meaning is the margin is still going up somehow. So there's a big growth that is happening, but not only just growth, right? The profitability, the margin is also improving by a significant amount. Okay. So now not only that, if I were to look at the most recent quarterly, the most recent earnings, right? Total revenue went up 144%. Gross profit went up 500%. And finally, right, they are profitable. They have a net income of 16.82 million. They finally became profitable. Okay. So if you look back in the past, they were losing like 9 million, 16 million, 15 million. Right now, they are finally profitable, and they are actually profitable by quite a big margin also lah. So things are looking very, very well. And in fact, they have been awarded a lot of big contracts for the upcoming year also, and in terms of their manufacturing capacity, right? They actually cannot meet the demand. The demand is so big that they are unable to meet the demand, and they need to build additional manufacturing plant in order to like get more profit lah. Okay, so it's a kind of problem that is good to have It's just that they need to expand a little bit more to meet further manufacturing demands lah. Okay, so all in all, it's a very good stock with good growth, great margin improvement, a lot of growth initiative, and they are becoming profitable, and most likely they will be able to remain profitable going forward lah. Okay, and just nice, the stock also kind of like retrace very nicely to the support level, so we can probably enter this like next week, next Monday already lah. Okay, so I think it's a very good position to be in, and the earning is quite near also, 31st October, just a few more weeks away. Hopefully we can play that earning and it can shoot up like crazy lah. Okay, so this stock, I do have very high confidence. You can consider it, you can go for it, but I will put up the trade setup on Monday lah. Okay, so this is one new trade that I managed to find. And aside from that, right, I mentioned CleanSpark last week also. CleanSpark is a Bitcoin mining company lah. Okay, so I mentioned how the US dollar is going to be further weakened, and with the US dollar weakening, right, we will have things like crude oil going up, gold prices going up, which is why you see I'm taking trades like Matador, or you see why the gold prices are up. But another aspect of lower dollar is that things like Bitcoin will rally also lah. So this one a little bit speculative in nature, and in fact I found CleanSpark while I was looking at trades for my course this batch also lah. Okay, so I think this batch the course is quite lucrative because I'm also getting something out of it myself lah. Okay, if let's say Aspen were to go into very very big profit, right, then it's basically like I've gained something out of giving this course also lah. Okay, so anyway, if you want to play CleanSpark, I'm not gonna put up a trade setup for this but if you want to play this, right, you can definitely look at $14, $15 kind of profit level lah. Okay, and you can definitely enter right now. It's a very safe level to enter, but your stop loss have to be somewhere around like maybe $7 there. Give it a bit of room now. Okay, or 7.5 will probably be a good stop loss level now. Okay, if you are playing options, you can look at December expiration or January expiration. You can go for a little bit higher strike, probably strike $10 or maybe even strike $11 like that. Just play a simple call. Don't need to do funny structure. Just play a simple call and then just wait for the stock to shoot up. Okay, so that's something that you can play. And then on the short side, we definitely need something on the short side also. So I'm looking at 3M now. Okay, I'm looking at 3M as a short potential, waiting for it to go down, but just waiting for a bit of price momentum for it to hit back down a bit lah. Okay, I actually consider entering Celsius holding, but after this little bit of rally, we have Celsius holding going back down 6%, so we will wait and see how lah. Okay, I still have not looked at what happened to this stock where it declined like 70% from the top like that, so I may need some time to take a look at it. And Alcoa went up some more. So for those who want to play more Alcoa, right, you can go ahead also. I think perfectly playable. Personally, I'm not going to play this, but up to you lah. Okay, if you want to play, it's fine also. I think it can go up a lot higher also lah. And I have also recommended short on the TLT. I have not entered yet, mainly because, as I mentioned, right, my portfolio is too full. But right now, I'm thinking to enter, but I don't know whether if it's a bit late or not. I want to see a bit of rebound first before I enter lah. Okay, so this one I will hold off first. I will hold off first and see whether if I do need to enter or not. Okay, because we do have a lot of trade on our watch list. There's too many things to enter already. Just that the portfolio is very full lah. So make sure you pick and choose. Okay, you don't like crazy everything also enter. Make sure you pick and choose which one that you think your portfolio need. The other one is Snowflake. So Snowflake, I definitely do want to enter. But especially with Astera Lab being taken profit, right? I think I can afford another technology counter on my portfolio lah. Okay, so probably I can take a Snowflake maybe in the upcoming week and Aspen Aerogel. Aspen Aerogel is in industrial lah. Okay, it's a chemical and it's a chemical industrial chemical product, so it's not really related to tech, so it's something that is outside of tech that we can take lah. Okay, so the rest of the stuff like things like Intel, things like PayPal, we will continue to hold on to those stocks lah. Okay, so that's basically all I have. And the other one, right, I forgot to mention, the other one is this emerging index fund, the emerging market fund that I mentioned previously. It kind of retraced a bit and it seems like want to rebound like that. So this is something that we can enter also. I think it has the potential to go a lot higher, maybe towards $50 or maybe even $52.5 or even challenge the all-time high. Okay, so weakening US dollar is very good for emerging market, and the majority of the stuff in this particular ETF is China, Hong Kong, and Taiwan and India market. Okay, so it kind of consolidate all the Asia market all together lah. So this is something that I'm looking at also in order to take advantage of the lower US dollar. So actually, that's all I have. So short and sweet lah. Okay. Next week I will be around 24/7. So just look out for all the trades. And before I end, right, just want to quickly go through the earnings also. So we are in the earnings season already. So probably expect the index to move quite a bit because a lot of the earnings are coming out. Okay. So we have the bank's earning will continue to be out. Citi, Bank of America coming out, Charles Schwab, Goldman Sachs, where's Morgan Stanley? I think Morgan Stanley is on Wednesday lah. Okay, I'm not sure why Monday nothing's happening. Like, is Monday a US holiday? I don't know. We have Walgreens, United Health, Johnson and Johnson, all the health counter also coming up lah. Okay, and we got Interactive Broker, JB Hunt is quite important to take a look because it is the biggest trucking company in America. So if JB Hunt is doing well, right, it usually indicate the economy is good lah. Okay, it's the Dow Jones transportation theory lah. Okay, so the transportation stock usually lead the market because if everybody is buying stuff, if everybody is transporting stuff around the country, right, it means that business is good lah. So JB Hunt as the biggest trucking company, right, it is a good litmus test on the overall health of the economy. And we have ASML, the biggest European semiconductor, Morgan Stanley, Able, US Bangkok, all the banks. And then we have Alcoa coming out. So be a little bit careful. If you are going to play small. We have Kinder Morgan, Steel Dynamic, and TSMC, very important. TSMC coming out. And then we have Travelers, we have the Blackstone. Blackstone also very important. It's a very big real estate investment stock lah. Okay, then we have Netflix, like everybody forget about Netflix already. Like nobody is talking about already lah. Okay, and then on Friday we have American Express, we have P&G, and basically that's about it lah. Okay, so quite a lot of big name earnings are coming up next week, so do pay attention to the market lah. Okay, so that's all I have, everyone. Have a good weekend and have a nice day.